Look at this, a fully interactive and beautiful design Excel dashboard. Clean, simple, and the kind of project used in the real world. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to build it from scratch. This is a complete project, perfect for your portfolio. No complicated formulas, no VBA, just powerful Excel techniques that anyone can learn. Whether you are a beginner or want to sharpen your skills, this tutorial will take you from start to finish. Stick around, follow along, and by the end, you will have a dashboard you will be proud to showcase. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really motivates me to bring you more valuable content like this. Alright, let's get started. This is our data set. You can find it in the description below. So the first thing we want to do is to understand our data. So you can go through each column and see what is inside. So after that is done, we want to create a calculated column that will be based on the incident date, and that calculated column will be the incident date by quarter. We are not going to use this column in our dashboard. There are many ways of getting slicer or filters in our dashboard. We can just insert a slicer based on our data set which we are going to use, or we can create a formula to get a column and we use that column as slicer. So I'm just showing this in case you go for this option. So the formula is simple. We want the text of our incident date, which is F2. It should extract the year from the incident date, and it should add minus and Q later so that it represents a quarter, and then it should now bring that to as a new column. Okay, so the formula seems complicated, but you don't need this column. I'm just showing this just in case. Okay, so now let's create another column. This is a very important column, the lost time injury frequency rate. So to calculate that, we need our lost time column and our hours worked column. The formula is simple. We just want the sum of the lost time, which is L2, we multiply by 1 million. Why 1 million? Because we assume it is 1 million per hour. It's a convention. So yes. So once we multiply the sum of lost time by 1 million, we divide it by the hours worked. So it is giving me an error. Can you see where the error is in our formula? Okay, I think the error is because I did not put the bracket before sum. Okay, now it should work. Okay, we have our lost time injury frequency rate. So now click anywhere in the table, you go to insert and you insert a pivot table. Let's call this KPI. Okay, let's now create a new sheet and call it dashboard. What we want to do, you click anywhere, you go to view and you untick the grid lines, and then you select everything, Control A, you go to home. Now we assign a color. Let's assign this gray color to the background of our dashboard. The next thing is to go to insert, we go to shape, and we insert a rectangle shape. The idea is that the dashboard should be visible at a glance. It is not good, in my opinion, when the user needs to scroll to see some parts of your dashboard. So let's resize it well. Okay, now let's go to shape format. For the shape field, we want to assign a let's take this blue color. For the outline, we don't want any outline. Let's go to shape effect, and we assign this shadow. Now our shape has a shadow. So now let's bring another shape, rectangle shape. In this shape, we are going to put some icons and some text that will help us to switch from one aspect of the dashboard to another. Let's right click, we go to format shape. We want a gradient fill. Okay, so you see there are two blocks inside. Let's delete them. Okay, we just want one at the top, at the left, and one in for the one in the left, let's assign the purple color. In the one in the right, we also assign a purple color. But for the one in the right, the transparency, we want it to be around 20. Why? Because we are going to insert an image under this shape. Okay, so for the line, we want no line. Okay, we can close this. So we can go to shape format and also assign a shadow to this shape, the same shadow. Okay, it looks good. Now let's insert another shape that will help us to put our KPIs. Let's go to shape, we insert our rectangle shape. Let's go to shape format. For the fill, we want to give a white color, and for the outline, we don't want any outline. And for the shape, we go to shadow and we assign the same shadow we have been assigning to all the shapes. Okay, it looks good. So let's copy and paste it. You can press Ctrl C to copy and Ctrl V to paste. So we want 3 cards. Each card will contain one set of KPIs. Okay, let's long press Ctrl on your keyboard and you select everything. You go to shape format, we align it at the middle and also horizontally. Okay, it looks good. The next thing we want is, now let's bring a shape, this rectangle shape here. So let's drag this yellow button here to the right. Okay, so what we want is to show to users that we are at this part, or at this is the shape we are, or let's say the sheet we are using in our dashboard. So let's bring this shape again. You will see it. You will see. Okay, let's make sure it's aligned. Let's drag this one behind a little bit. Okay. So you can press Ctrl and you select both. You go to shape format, we go to fill, and we assign the same color of our background, which is this blue. Okay. Now for the shape outlines, we want no outline. When we click like this, you can see now the user knows exactly that this is in which side of the dashboard we are. But look at this, let's click on it and we send it behind. So we right click and we send to back. Okay, and you can see how it has changed the way this thing look. Let's press Ctrl Z to bring it back the way it was, and let's try to modify it to look quite good. I know if it is your first time to do that, it might be difficult, but as time goes on, it will become easy. Let's reduce the size to make sure it both shapes match very well. Okay, this one looks better. Okay, now let's go to insert and we bring a text. No, before let me put this one here. Okay, so we are going to use this to put the icons, the animated icons, so that the user can easily identify the content of each KPI. So let's go to shape format. For the fill, we want it in white. Okay, so no outline, and we bring a shadow, the same shadow we have been using. Okay, let's click on it and we copy and we paste. Ctrl C to copy, Ctrl V to paste. Okay, so now to make sure all shape align, you will long press Ctrl on in your keyboard and then you select everything. We want it to be aligned in the middle, at the middle, and horizontally. What do we say, in the middle or at the middle? Anyway, sorry if I make one or two mistakes. English is not my first language. Okay, so it looks good to me. Now let's bring the title. For that, let's go to insert and we bring a text box. Please never write in a cell, always write in a text box. Let's call our dashboard health and safety dashboard. So let's go to home and we increase the size and we bold our title. I think 28 is fine. No, let's increase it to maybe 32 or 36. Okay, I think this one will go. Now let's go to shape format. We want no fill and no outline. Wow, now the dashboard is looking better. So the next thing we want is to bring our animated icons. So I've already downloaded them and I will put them in the description below. Also, if you want to download others icons, you can go to flaticon.com. Icons over there are free, and they have millions of icons, animated and any type. So let's bring them and we put them in our shape. The idea is that it should not exceed the shape. Like here, it exceeded. Okay. So now this, okay, it looks good now. So this one, we are going to assign a link. So I will go to Google and assign any link to this icon. Any link that we talk about health and safety, good practices or something like that. But you, in a real world, you can assign a website of the company. So let's insert another text box and we put dashboard inside. Let's go to shape, no fill, no outline. So so right now, we go to insert and let's insert a new image. Let's bring this image that you will find it in the description below as well. So we want this image to be at the background of this shape. So for that, what we can do is let's send it back. So now it is the last shape. Okay. Now let's bring it as at the first position. Sorry, Control Z to come back. Let's click. Okay, right click and we bring to front. Okay, it is now the first. Now let's bring this second one to be the first. Now our image is at the middle, right? So now as you can see, it is now inside. No, it is not doing well. You can Control A to select everything. You just unselect, it's not coming. So let's do like this. Control A, you will select everything. You unselect the image and the background. The rest you bring it in front. Have you seen what happened? So I selected everything with Control A, and now I unselected the image and the background so that the rest can come in front. And if you are able to see the image, it's because we added the transparency. Now let's get back to our pivot table. The first thing we want is the incident ID. Let's click on it and we want it as a count, not the sum. Now we have the count of our incident IDs. Okay, we will use it as one KPI. You can just select everything, you control with control C, and then control V, you paste it. So now we want the incident ID, but we want to add a filter. So now let's filter only the accident. Okay, now let's copy this and paste it, control C, control V. Now let's use our filter again. We want only the illness. Okay, now it is giving us the incident based on a particular type. Let's get for the near miss, and the last one for the property damage. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to extract the value from the pivot table. Why? When it comes to the chart, the graph, it is fine, we can use the values in the pivot tables. But when it's for the KPIs, like just a number, we always extract the value. And to extract, you just put equals to and you select our cell. Okay, so we are going to use the one we have extracted, not the one in the pivot table. So let's copy this one, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Is going to be the title, the main title of this KPI, which is going to be the total incident. So let's increase the size. So let's center it at the top here. Okay, so let's now we do copy and paste. Now let's clean the value inside. So click outside, not inside, but it should be selected. You come here, you press equal to, you go to the KPI. Don't select the one in the pivot table, select the one you have extracted. Now it is equal to this. This value will automatically change when we use the filter. Let's bold it. Let's give maybe this golden color. Now let's call our accident value. So it's just Ctrl C, Ctrl V to copy and paste. So I'm bringing all the KPIs we are going to use for this card, which are simply our incident types. Okay, I think it looks good now. So let um let me reduce the size. It is, I think it was, let's put it at 12 for all the 4 type of incidents. Okay, now we are going to bring, oh sorry, Control Z. If you made a mistake, you can press Control Z to come back to undo the action. So let's delete this and we go to equal. We go and put our equal. So the first thing we get is the accident. So equal to this. Please, once again, don't use the values in the pivot table. So Control C, Control V. This next one is going to be the illness. You just delete and you leave the equal to. You come, you get our illness. Control C, Control V. Now let's get our near miss. Okay, now you can click on 1 and we are going to also give this golden color and we put it at 14. So we want the rest to have the same thing. So you come here, you double click Format Painter and you click only once on each values and then you press escape to stop that. Oh sorry. Okay, so you double click the Format Painter painter and then you come and click once in each value. To stop that, you just press escape on your keyboard. So let's select all those no sent it does. Oh, what's that? It's okay. Horizontally, no. Okay, so we have to to modify it manually. So to undo, I just press Ctrl Z. I have not done anything. What I wanted to do, apparently we can't do that. Okay, so let's go to our next KPI, which is going to be the lost time injury frequency rate. Okay, so let's copy this and we come and paste it here. So let's go back to our KPI and now get the values of the lost time injury. You just copy this, you come and paste it here. Remember to always give some space in between each table. Now let's delete the count of incident. Let's go to our lost time injury and it is giving the sum of lost time injury frequency, which is exactly what we want. So now let's extract that value. So let's put equals to, we select, okay. So let's copy this and we paste it here. So now what we want is the count of the lost time injury. This is lost time injury. You see, it is giving the sum as the exact value. Why? Because in the data set, the column is containing lost time injury 0 for no and 1 for yes. So if we get the sum of the lost time injury, is going to be exactly the right sum. But we can also put as the lost time injury as, sorry, we go to value, as a count. Let's put it in the filter, okay. Let's go, we put it as a count, okay. It gives the whole number, but we select only when it is 1. You see, it is the same value. So you can use one method or another. Okay. So let's copy this again. Now to get the hours worked, let's delete our, sorry. Let's delete this. We go to remove field. Now we want the hours worked. Okay, this is the sum of hours worked, which is exactly what we want. Okay, now we can bring those values to our KPI. So you select here, you just come and delete the value. You leave equal to, this is the lost time injury frequency rate, so equals to this. But you can see there are decimals values. So to remove the decimal values, you click here, you go to home, and you just reduce here. You can see each time you click on that arrow, it remove one. Okay, so we want this same format. So you come to home, you click once, and you come and click here once as well. Okay, you double click when there are multiple things that you want to assign that same format you made. But since this one was only once, so you can click on also once, and once you click once, it will go. Okay, now let's bring the title. So this one we are going to put per 1 million hours. You remember when we created the formula, we multiply the the lost time injury by 1 million, so it is 1 million hours. So this is a convention. It's like we found it like this, and yeah, maybe if you know more, if maybe you have some knowledge of on health and safety, about and safety, you can put in the comments why you think we are putting 1 million, because I just know the formula is 1 million, so I've been just, as a robot, putting 1 million. So please, if you know, let's put it in the comments why we are multiplying the lost time injury by 1 million, and we divide by the hours worked to get our lost time injury frequency rate. Okay, now let's get the lost time injury. Okay, so we can copy this here. Oh, sorry, Control Z to come back every time you do something wrong to you, or to undo is Control Z. So let's clean this value, and we go and put our equal to the lost time injury. So now let's also clean this and bring our hours worked. Okay, so so what we want now is to assign this to the same. So we come to home, you double click, you click once for each one, and then you press escape to stop that. Okay, so let's move on to our last KPI, which is going to be let's copy this. Okay, so let's call this safety compliance effectiveness. So why are we creating this one is to get to try to like assess the safety measures that were put in place. Okay, so how are we going to go about it? So let's go back to our KPI. So let's copy one KPI, one pivot, sorry, we paste here. So what we want now is, the first thing we want is the incident IDs again, to get our incident. Now let's go and we put the count. Okay, now let's, for the rows, let's put the trained and inducted. This column shows that the person who had the accident, were he inducted, or was he trained before or something like that. So if the person had the accident and he was trained, it is yes, else it is no. So what we am trying to do is to extract the value, okay? Or the not inducted is no, or the inducted is yes. So now let's get the percentage of these values, because for such KPIs, they are always good in percentage. So to get the percentage, it is just the not inducted divided by the total incident, which is the not inducted plus the inducted. So we can add the dollar sign in between each letter so that it is simple to drag. So I can just drag it like this and then I get the correct formula. So once it is selected, let's go to home and put it as percentage, okay? So we can see that 49% of the incident people were not inducted and 51 were inducted, which is huge. So let's now remove the inducted and we put the PPE 1. So meaning that the person who had the accident, was he wearing the PPE? If he was wearing his PPE when he had the accident, so it is yes, else it is no. So let's do the exact same thing we did for the inducted. So we put each value. Now let's get the percentage. So to get the percentage of the accident when the person did not wear the PPE is just the number of person who did not wear divided by the sum of the accident. So once again, we add the dollar sign just to make the formula simple to drag. Okay, so let's drag it down. Now once it is selected, let's go and we make it percentage. Okay, so now from these two, the percentage of the inducted people and the percentage of the accident by those who won their PPE, we can get the safety compliance effectiveness. So what is it? We are just going to make it as the average of both the percentage of not inducted and not won. So the average of not inducted and the average of not won. So what am I trying to do? What I want is that to get the percentage of effectiveness is those who had accident and they were trained and they were wearing the PPE but they still had an accident. That means they they we can assume that the safety department or the people in charge of the safety did not do their work well. So their percentage therefore is just 48% because 52% had accident while they were inducted and while they were wearing their PPE. Okay, so this one for this KPI, it just came to my mind that okay, instead of just putting the inducted employee incident, I can just put both the inducted employee incident, the one PPE incident, and get the average of both to determine the effectiveness of our safety compliance. I don't know if it makes sense or what. Maybe if you have an idea of how maybe we could go about it, you can tell me in the comments so that maybe we can all learn from each other. Okay. So now let's bring the exact value. We can just delete this and we leave the equal to. We bring our here. No, let's no, it's a mistake. Let's delete this. We want the inducted. What is the percentage of the sorry, what? I did not delete. Well, it's like I did not delete what, sorry. So let's relieve the equal to. We want the inducted employee incident. So it's the percentage of the inducted. Okay. Now let's also get the percentage of the PPE1 incident. So we leave our equal to a percentage of 1. Okay, so now let's click on 1. We go to format painter, we double click and we click once for each, and then we press escape to stop the format painter. Okay, our KPIs are ready. Now let's copy this pivot table and we paste it here. Let's remove the rows. Now let's bring the severity. Okay, so now we want to get the severity. So let's go to design, let's go to grand total and we remove the grand total, we off it. Okay, so now this is equal to this and you can drag it down like this. So what we are doing, you drag it on down and you drag it on the right, but not on the right. Let's get this one in percentage. So let's go to count, we go to value here, let's go to show value as. Now we want it as percentage of parents rows total. Okay, now it is giving it in percentage. Let's go to home and we put it in percentage. So now we can drag it here, we are going to get it in percentage. But to see it well in percentage, let's select this and we go to home and we make it as percentage. Let's put it incident. So as you can see, we have recreated the pivot table again. So now what we want is, we want this is equals to this value plus 5%. Okay, so let's go and remove the decimal value, and this one you just put 110%. It's quite confusing, but it will help us to create our chart. So let's now select the critical column and the 2 new columns. Let's go and insert this 3D column chart. Let's cut this, Ctrl C to cut this, and we paste it here. So now what we want is, as you can see here, the axis goes to 120. So let's right click, we go to format. For the minimum we want it to be 0, but the maximum we want it to be 1.1. When I press select, this one changes. Let's put it at 0. Okay, you can see now it is from 0 to 100. Now you can delete. You just press Ctrl delete from your keyboard. Now what we want is, you select only the one that is in blue. Make sure to double click on only the critical. You go to field, you put the red color for that. Now for the high, let's put the orange color. For the low, this, remember that these are the various severity. So for the moderate, let's give it a green. Okay, so now let's go to the insert. We insert a shape. Let's insert this shape here. Let's go to line and put it white. No, let's remove the line. Let's put no line. It doesn't look good. Okay, no line. Let's go to fill. Let's go to gradient fill. Okay, so what we want is, actually up to 6 or 7 blocks inside. So for the angle, let's put the angle to like 0. Okay, now for the one on the top left, it should be 0. The second block that comes should be 20% the position. The third one should be 40%. You can drag or you can write it here 40%. To add one, you just double click as I just did. We want this one to be 80%. We want another one to be 90% before the 100%. Okay, we have our 6 blocks. This one is 100%. Okay, now let's assign the color. For the first one, let's give it a black. The next one, we put it white. The next one, we put it a black again. This one a black. This one a white. And we end with a black. So the most important is to start and end with black. I mean, for the color that I want to give, I want it to be like a glass. Okay, so let's copy this, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, copy and paste. So let's do the same again, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. So now what I want is the one at the middle. Let's go to shape format and we send backward. Click on it several times until you send it backward. You can see now it can enter because it is sent backward. Okay, so let's drag it. So let's push it well to make sure that it looks good. Okay, so as you can see, this one we have to do something. Okay, so let's take this yellow circle, let's drag it at the top. It will cover the this thing. Now it looks good, right? Now let's select, we can even select everything to make sure that everything looks fine. You can like select all the 3 shapes. You go to shape format and we align them at the center, right? Now let's just select the one at the middle, this one at the middle alone. Let's come back here. So for the first block, for the transparency, we want it to be 50. The second one, we want it to be 75. The third one, 100% the transparency. This one, 100%. No, what? Oh, sorry, I want to put it on the position. Let me double click again. Okay, this one 75% and this one 50% again. So 50, 75, 100, 100, 75 and 50. Okay, so so let's select everything like this. Once we have selected everything, you right click and you group them. Now it is as one shape. As you can see, it is as one shape. So what we want to do is to go and copy this shape. You select these long bars, this one like this, and you paste the shape inside. Have you seen? Right, it's powerful, right? Now let's go to our format again. For the primary axis, we want it to be 100, and for this one we want it to be only 50 or 60. Okay, so if this format did not come, you can just right click, you go to format, but since it is there, it's fine. You see it looks good, right? So now our glass look good. So let's go to the axis. We bold it and we give it a black color. We increase the size. And now let's go to format. We go to shape outlines. We give it a black color. Let's go to outline again. Now let's go to weight. Look at two, this one before the third one. Okay, you can see now it looks better to me. You can click here, you right click, you go to add label. Now the label has come, but however, look at the label, it is up to 110 because it is taken from the support column that we put 110. Let's go to value from. It should rather take it from this incident here. Have you seen? Don't take the one in the pivot table, take this one that we have created. Okay, now we can remove the value here and the show leaders line. Let's bold it and we increase the size. So we want to give colors to this number. So let's select only the critical one. You double click and then we go to format here. So we want to assign the red color. Okay, so for the height, let's just assign the same color that we have assigned for the values. So orange, yellow and the green. Okay, it looks good, right? So we can get rid of our title. So when we get rid of the title, look at what's happened. So let's drag this one down a little to make sure that our label can be visible. Okay, it looks good to me. So let's bring it here. So we want no field, no line. Once again, for that shape we want no field, no line. Let's give the title. So let's select everything in this KPI. You long press Ctrl, you make sure you select every shape or every text box, even the icon, everything. Now you remove your finger from Ctrl and then you drag this at the top like this. So what we do, you right click and we send it back. We bring it at forward. Okay, so that shape cannot be seen. Okay, this one, let's put it here. Okay, let's call it incident by severity. So what I wanted here is just creating a chart that is different from the normal column chart. Adding this glass makes it look to me more appealing and more original. And you can tell me in the comments if you rather prefer the normal bar chart and stuff, or if you like this glass chart. Now let's go to insert. You click inside a pivot table, you go to insert a slicer. So now we select our department. Okay, let's cut it and we paste it here. So now it is only connected to this one. You can right click, you go to report connection and you tick every pivot table. These are the various pivot table that we use. So what we are doing is that we are connecting them to our slicer. Okay, they are now all connected to the slicer. So if I click on one department, you can see the values change, right? It looks good, right? Okay, so Let's go to KPI again. Let's copy this and we paste this KPI down here. So now we don't want the severity, we want the gender. Okay, we want the incidence by gender. Wow, it is 50-50%, really. Let me remove this and make sure that there's no mistake. Let me bring the incidence again. Instead of the sum, we don't want the sum, we want the count. You see, it comes in percentage. Let's select this and then we go and remove. No, let's go to percentage. We put it as number. Let's remove the decimal values. Okay, well, it was that. So 251 female and 249 male. Wow, that is quite balanced. Let's go back here. We go to show value as. We want it again as percentage. So parents row total. Okay, so let's reduce the decimal values. Okay, it's 50%, so it was the correct value. So let's extract the value from the pivot table. For the female, now let me write it here. Gender equals to, we have the female. So let's drag it on the down and here. So to see the percentage very well, let's select this and we go on to home percentage. Okay, now we have created another table. So here what we want now, it is 50% out of what percent? Out of 100%. Okay, so let me drag this. So these are the way we do to get. Okay, you will see what I mean. Let's select all these except the labels. We go to insert and we insert the same column chart. Okay, so let's cut this with Ctrl X. We paste it here, Ctrl V. So you can see once again the axis is from 0% to 120. Let's right click, we go to format axis again. For the minimum we want it to be 0 and the maximum we want it to be 1. Let's put 1, like 1%. You can see now it is from 0 to 100. So we can now delete this. You can just press delete from your keyboard. So even this grid line, let's delete them. Okay, so what we want now is okay, let's come here. We switch rows to and column. Okay, now the females are only one rows and the male are only in another row. Let's bring this icon, let's call it, let's bring the home, the man and the female icon. Let's insert them. Okay, so the switch just make that now each column is like, we have the side for the male and the side for the female. Okay, I'm not able to drag it. It's like it is locked, maybe because I selected when I brought it. Let's delete this. Let's click outside the chart. Let's go to icon. Let's write people. Okay, let's insert the man and woman. Okay, now it is able to come here. Oh sorry, Ctrl Z to bring back. So these icons are very difficult to, wow, sorry, wow. Okay. So let's copy both and we paste both. Okay, so I will show you why we are doing this. Now let's, for this second one, let's go to, no, let's start with only, let's select both of them. We go to graphic format. Let's put no fill, but we can't see again. So before, let's go to outline. We make sure we put it a dark color. Now let's go back to fill and we put no fill. Okay, so let's separate them a little. Now for only the man, let's copy this and we come here where there is male, this long bar here, and we paste it here. We have copied the man and then let's paste it inside. Okay, now let's also copy the female and we go and paste it on the female. Let's paste. Okay, so now for this black one, let's take for only the man, let's give him a blue color to show that it is for men. And for the woman, we can put any color of your maybe pink, or let's go to more, let's select the pink from here. Okay, now we can easily distinguish each gender. So let's select only the male, we copy and we come to the male here where it is blue, we paste it here. Okay, so same for the female, let's copy and paste it here. Okay, so now we can get rid of these icons, we don't need them again. You can long press Ctrl, you select them all. So what we do is we select only one. So you double click, you make sure you have selected only one. You come here to stack and scales width, you tick that box. Okay, same for these other ones, stack and scale width, it is under fill. Okay, so now you can see that they are all aligned. Okay, so now to merge them together, what we should do is let's select outside, we come here, we go to size. Okay, let's select this long one, sorry, and we go to primary axis. This one we want it to be 100% and this one 0%. Okay, so you can see that they are merged and they look good, right? Let's right click, we add label. Now our label is at the top, we can select it, we go to value, because it is 100% because it is taken from this support column. Let's make it take from this incident column. Okay, now as we did for the previous one, we remove the value and they show leaders lines. So let's bold the label. Let's now select only one label for the female. We also assign the same color, pink, and this one the same blue we used. Okay, let's right click, we go to, okay, it's already here. We want no fill, no line. Okay, so I think we can bring our label, our axis. Okay, so let's bring our axis. No, let's delete this one, we only want the gender to be there. Let's also format it the same way we formatted for the incident by severity. So we want the color to be deep black. We go to format, we go to outline, we give it a deep black as well, and we go to weight, we put this weight, right? Now it looks good. Let's make this one be the same. You see, if I now use my filter, everything looks good, but this one is quite let me reduce the size to maybe 12. Okay, I think it's better. There's nothing to do, so it's fine. So let's bring our title. Let's call this incident by gender. So let's do the same thing for this. Let's select all the shapes and text from this KPI and we drag it to the top. So when you drag, don't press the control, you remove your finger from control. Okay, from the control button. Okay, it looks good to me. Gender. Okay, let's save it to make sure that we save as we progress. So let's go to our KPI. Now let's copy this and we paste it down. What we want right now, let's get rid of the gender. So we want the root cause. So what caused the incident? You can see that, okay, what actually caused the incident? These are the various reasons. So let's also extract this table equals to this first one, and then we just drag it and to the right as well. So to get it as percentage, well, let's select all this. We go to home and then we make it percentage. So now we can select everything except the label. Let's go to insert. Let's insert this tree map. So these three charts we have created, the incident by gender, the incident by severity, and this tree map, you cannot just use the pivot table to create them. You are forced, the pivot table will not allow you to get those shapes. So the only thing is to extract the value there and then now create the table. So let's right click this tree map. We want no fill, no line. Okay, so let's click inside as well and we click no line, but we want it like this. Yes. Okay, let's add our label. So what we want to add is the value. Now the value and the label, the category name are separated by with a comma. We just want them to be separated as in a new line. Okay, it looks good to me. Let's bold everything. We are going to call it incidence by root cause. See, it is taking shape, right? So let's drag it. Oh, sorry, Control Z, U. Yes, U. Okay, you can see how incident by root cause is working, is dynamic. So now let's copy this pivot table and we paste it down here. So what we want now, let's get rid of the root cause and even the incident. What we want now is the lost time injury frequency over time. Okay, let's go to home and we put it as number. We don't want it as percentage. So let's go to our incident date. Where is it? No, sorry. So let's look for the incident date. Okay, so you can see it comes with a lot of information. Let's get rid of the year. We get rid of the quarter. This first quarter we created, you can either use this quarter here or use the quarter column we have created. You can just take the quarter column, you drop here as a row, it is fine. Some people like it that way, other people like it as as a date like this. Now they can get rid of the rest, but any is okay. But this one, at least, if you want the year you can get the year, but it depends, it's up to you. Now let's hide everything here. For this one, let's bold this. Let's also bold the all the axes. Okay, let's remove this total. So this pen here can help you to have different type of charts. Okay, since we are using a line chart, it is giving me different types. So I want this last one, it looks more shadow and more, I think, appealing. Okay, so let's bold them again, the axis again. Okay, let's copy this, let's cut this, Control X, and we paste it here. Let's go to format character, right? We want no field, no line. Yeah, so let's bring the title. We are going to call it monthly lost time injury frequency rate trends. So at first, initially I wanted to have it like quarterly, but I think maybe monthly is better, I think. So for you, you can decide to put it the way you want. Let's reduce this, it is too much. I think it is taking all the place. Let's select all this and we drag them top so that we can reduce the shape of this card. Okay, so we are trying our best to make it look appealing, so that apart from conveying a insight from our data, it can also, be something that is easy in the eyes. Well, now let's, if okay, it is working, it is connected to our slicer. So let's now bring the monthly incident trend. So it's the same thing we want, just that instead of the lost time injury frequency rate, we want the incident. So let's paste this pivot table here. Let's get rid of the lost time injury. Sorry, remove. Now let's bring the incident ID, not the sum, the count. Okay, so now we have the count of incidents over time monthly. Let's go to insert. We insert a line again, so maybe this one is still is good. So let's right click here, we hide all those things. We cannot delete them, so we just hide them. So let's go to our pen, and then our pen here, we also bring the same line with shadow. Let's remove the line here. Let's remove the line. You can select the line, you just delete with your keyboard. Let's bold all these axes. Now let's cut this, Ctrl X, and we paste here, Ctrl V. You can see it is taking. Okay. Let's right click, let's go to format again. Let's put no fill, no line. Okay, let's bring our title monthly incident trends. So let's also reduce the size of this card here, because it is also taking all the place. Okay, so let's, like, we can press Ctrl, we just select all the four and then we drag them together. Okay, now we can reduce the size of this shape. Even this one, we can drag it at the top. Okay, so now let's bring this one up. Okay, let's bring it up. So sorry if it is time consuming, we just want to make it look appealing. So oh sorry, I want it to start with the monthly incident trend. Let me make it start with the monthly incident trend. Oh, sorry again. um um well, Control Z to come back. But the way it looks, I don't know. No, let me press Control Z several times. Let's come back. Let it start with monthly trend, monthly lost time injury frequency rate. Let it be like this. Okay. Sorry. It is a little slow like this because I'm just, I've not created this dashboard before and then I'm creating it again. I'm just creating from what is in my mind. So let's reduce the size of this card here. For that, we can select everything inside and then we drag it at the top. Yes. And let's assign the same size to this same chart. So we go to Format Painter, we just click once. Okay, so let's press Ctrl, we select everything and then we drag them somewhere here. Okay, so let's select all the cards, the main shapes. We go to Shape Format and we align them at the middle and also horizontally. Okay, so yeah, let's put it somewhere here. So you can see everything is dynamic and to me it looks good to me. So now the next thing we want is to get our last chart. We can just copy this pivot table and paste it. Since the list is not coming, we can go to pivot table analysis and we get our field list. Let's get rid of the month. Let's leave the count of incident, just one now by department. I think it will be also important to have the incident by department. So let's go to recommended charts. We want a column chart, but let's use this 3D column chart. Let's get rid of the title. We hide all these field buttons. Let's delete this axis because we are going to use the label. So for this grid line, we can just untick it here. Let's add our label. So let's bold it and we increase the size a little bit. Same for here. Let's cut this. So this one, let's right click here. We go from smallest to, no, sorry, from largest to smallest. Okay, it's going to rank it from the department with the highest incident number till the one with the lowest, so that we don't give work to the user to check which one is smaller, which one. It just sees the trend like this, you know. Yeah. Let's right click, let's go to format chart, no field, no line as usual. So let's double click on the bar chart. What we want is gradient field. Okay, so the gradient field we want is, let's get rid of the two blocks in the middle. You can press delete button from your keyboard or press here. So for the one on the left, let's give it a green, deep green color, and the one on the right, let's give it like a light color, light green. Let's put it like 90. Let's put it at 0, okay, so that it can kill that deep one. Okay, maybe this one looks okay. So well, so look at the first two ones. You see how the x-axis is. So let's format the same. So let's put a deep black, and we go to the white, we put this deep one here too. Okay, let's do the same for this one. Let's also go to format, to outline, let's assign a black, and then we put a deep line. Okay, so let me increase the size of this one. Okay, it looks good. So let me also do the same here. Let's go to shape, we assign this black, the black one. Let's go again and we assign the deep line. I just want it to look, I just want the lines to be the same, at the same level, but the department names are too long. But it's okay, we can leave them like this. Even if it does not align well, I think it's fine. So let's give it a title. Let's call it incident by department. Okay, so if I use my filter now, you can see it is just coming one column because it is per department. So when I select only one department, it just shows that. And for the label, let's give it this golden color, so that now if it is only one department, at least we can see the value. Okay, well, so let's bring the slicer, right? So we have only one slicer for the department. Let's bring another slicer. Okay, let's bring another slicer. So let's go to the KPI and you click anywhere in any KPI, you click inside, you go to insert. Now instead of a slicer, we want a timeline. So naturally Excel detects the date. So our only column containing date is the incident date. So let's cut this, Ctrl X, and we come and paste here, Ctrl V. Now our timeline is ready, just that it is not connected to our various pivot table. Okay, So if I click by year, it is only the incident by route that changes, because I got the timeline from that pivot table. So let's connect all the rest of the other pivot tables. Okay, they are now all connected. If I select 2023, 2024 or 2025, since we are in February, so the data set I stop it in February. So if you are watching this video, I don't know in which year or which month of the year you are, but now we are in February 2025. So I stop the data set at February 2025. Okay, so it's only January and February that can come. For March it is empty. Okay, so we are good to go, I think. So let's save this. Okay, so now what we want is to change our slicers. So if you come to slicer, you can see the various slicer, but we can create our own slicer. So let's call it data professionals. Let's go to whole. Whole means like the whole slicer. How do you want it to look? We want it to be Calibri with bold. The color should be white. Okay, for the field, we put the exact field of our dashboard so that it can match with the background. Okay, so for the header, it's like department, incident date. This header, how do you want it to be? We want it to be Calibri and bold as well, but the color, we want it to be black. Okay, now the selected item with data. So when we select an item in our filter, how do we want it to be? We want it to be bold as well. For the color, we want it to have two different color. Let's give it this purple color for both, but the second one, let's bring the arrow top to make it a little bit light, and let's make it vertical. Okay, so I'm choosing the purple color because I want the color, I don't want too many colors. So now for the unselected items, how do we want it? We want it to be also bold, but we want to assign a gray color to that, the item you have not selected. Okay, let's also put it vertical. Okay, so you see it is taking shape. Now the unselected item with no data, how do we want it to be? So we want all of them to be bold. So for the color, let's now assign maybe a black color to this at the top and a gray color at the down. Okay, vertical. At the down, do we say at the down? At the down. Anyway, okay, let's go to slicer and we select our slicer. So you can see it looks better, right? It matches it best matches the dashboard now. I mean, compared to the former one, the previous one that was there. So let's do the same for our timeline. So we go to the timeline, we create our new timeline. Let's call it data professionals as well. For the whole timeline, how do you want it to look like? We want it to have like the same color with our dashboard background, blue. So for the font, we want it Calibri and bold with a white color. Okay, same as we did for our slicer above. So now for the header, which is the incident date, so we want it to be Calibri bold as well. So the color should be black, yes. So for the field, so let's leave it like that. Now for the selected label, everything seems to be done already. So let's click OK and let's go and see. Okay, this name is already exists. Let's put just 2 so that it will be new. Let's assign it to this slicer. No. It's not the way I want. It's not the way I want. So let's go back to the timeline. Let's go to our slicer. You right click, we go to modify. So we have already done the whole. Let's go to selected label now. Let's put it. Let's bold it as well. For the color, let's give it a purple color. I think. Okay, let's go for the purple. For the time level, I think we can give. Let's bold it as well. Maybe let's put them in black. In deep black. Yes, for all of them, let's put them in deep black. Okay, same for the period too. Okay, now for the selected time block, so the one that we have selected, how do you want it to be? So let's now go and assign the same purple we have assigned for the slicer above. Let's just drag it a little bit here. Let's put it vertical and we click on OK. So for the unselected time block, the one we have not selected, let's also put the same color, like the gray color, the deep gray and the light gray. So let's click on OK and let's see. You see it looks better, right? I think it looks better. It matches our dashboard. I mean, anyway, in my opinion, in my opinion. Okay, that is okay for our slicer. Let's save it, and the next thing we can do now is you see it is only the dashboard part that we have, so we want our project to have both the dashboard and a data table part, where we are going to have pivot table, like tables based on incidents and based on illness and near miss. As you can see, this dashboard does not include those information, so we will create another, like a branch or another sheet that will take us there. Once again, all these icons can be downloaded in flaticon.com. flaticon.com. They are completely free. You can download animated icons, you can download stickers, almost everything. So I will put the link in the description below. But I will also put these icons in the description, so that if you don't want to go and download, I've did that for you. I've done that for you. Why is my English so broken? I've did that for you. Who said I've did that for you? Guys, if for some of you, if you speak French and maybe you want me to like make some videos in French, let me know. So let's right click on that. We go to place this document to, we select dashboard. Okay, so now this is, if we click here, it will take us to the dashboard. Okay, it's not taking me. So let's start with this one. Let's right click and we assign a link. Okay, so let's go to existing file or web page. Let's go to browse pages. So let's come here. So I've just googled like maybe good practices guidelines for health and safety. So I've just copied the link, I paste here. Sorry, let me do that again. Let's right click, let's go to link. we go to existing file or web page, browser pages, and we paste our link. Let's click on OK. Now if we click on this icon, it takes us to this page. So let's assume that maybe it's the company page or something like that. So now for this one, after we have grouped these two icons, let's right click, we go to link, we go to places in this document, we click on dashboard. So now if we click, it takes us to the dashboard sheet. It took us to the dashboard, just that you can't see because we are in the dashboard sheet. So when we create other sheets, now you will see that we have moved. Okay, so let's right click, we go to move or copy. We click on dashboard and we click create a copy. So we are creating a copy of the dashboard. So now let's just delete all these information. Okay, okay, now it is deleted. Let's save it. So you see, when I click on dashboard, I'm here, right? So we also want that when we click, so let's select, no, let's come back to our dashboard, these two. You control and you select both of them, you drag them down here. You remember these shapes we put to show that, to show where we are, right? So let's come here, go to white. Okay, so once we are here, this dashboard text should be in white. So let's control and select both of them. We right click, we go to group and we group them. Oh, sorry, we go to so let's select them one by one. You press Ctrl to make sure you select both of them. You right click, you go to group and we group them. Now it is as one weight. So now let's like let's name it data table. So before we assign a link to this, we will rename it before, because if you name it after, it can be complicated. So now let's go to I did not select well, so let's select our text. Yes, make sure it is both of them. You right click, we go to link, we go to places in this document and we select our data table. Okay, now it is linked to the data table. I can click here, go to dashboard, but now I am in dashboard. Here it is not linked, right? You know, you can group them as well. These two, we group them and we assign a link. Okay, link it to data table. So now in both sheets, they are all linked together, right? So if I click here, I'm here, and if I click here, I'm here, right? Wow, awesome, man. Okay, so let me save and then we can continue. So the next thing we want to do is now to bring the value in this data table. How can we go about it? So let's create anywhere to create a pivot. Okay, we already have pivot tables here. We can use this KPI sheet. Oh, sorry, Control Z to come back to undo. So let me copy a normal pivot table. Okay, so I paste it here. So let me get rid of the PP1 and the incident. For the incident, I need the incident. So let's get the incident by illness type, right? So let's remove the blank, because the blank is when the incident was not an illness. So we don't want that. We want only when it is illness, the types. let's put the gender in the columns. So we can have genders as columns. So we have the illness type by gender, right? So now let's also add the severity. So we can have the incident, the illness type by female, by gender, and by severity. Okay, let's rename each one. This one we can remove and we leave it just incident ID. So for these column labels, we can delete it. It's not needed. So for this row, it is just about the illness type. Okay. So what again? We can give it a nice color like this one. We can give it like, maybe let's give it a pink. Okay, so now here I don't know what color we can give. Let's copy this, right? But before, let me give a column to the total. This is the overall total. I think it should be highlighted in, maybe let me give this golden color. Let's bold it. Okay, let's increase the size to maybe 14. Now we can copy this. Let's paste it here in our data table. So what we could also do is that we don't paste it normally as an image like this. We could have pasted it as maybe a link which is connected to the pivot table, so that if there's any modification, in the pivot table, it can also reflect in our data table here. But that one is going to be like creating another, so that's why I've just pasted it as an image, because I just want to just focus on the first dashboard. This one is just an addition that the person can see that's this and that. But I think the idea is not to paste it as an image, but just a matter of time. So let me just paste it as an image. So this second one is for the potential hazard. So you remember that the kind of incident, there's also the near miss. So when the person select near miss, there is this question that pops up, that what is the potential hazard? So the person just chooses the potential hazard. So we can also get this information. It can also be useful. So okay. Once again, I really highly encourage you not to paste it as an image. You can paste it as a link, so that it is connected to the pivot table, and then when you use your pivot table, you want to analyze here, you can keep working. But I found the video a little bit long. That's why I paste it as an image to just release you guys. and maybe release myself as well. Sitting for 2 hours. Yeah, I mean, that is a lot. It's first of all to share my knowledge and also to get to know you guys more. So, if you are still watching the video at this point, I really encourage you to continue what you are doing, and everything will be fine. I'm sure you will achieve your goal, whether you are starting a data career or you are transitioning or whatever. So I wish you all the best in your um in your plan. Yeah. Um, um here we, let's bring the titles. Okay. Now, what we can do is click remove the blank here because it was showing the blank. So let's copy this and paste it again, please. Let's delete it. Okay, let's paste it here, and okay, I think it looks good. Let's delete the first one. I think it doesn't need to be so stretched like it was. So let's just copy this again. We don't stretch it too much as it was before. So let's copy and paste it here. Once again, I'm just pasting as an image. You paste it normally and you can add more whatever you want. Yeah. Why am I asking you to do something, but instead of doing, I'm not doing? Why is the purpose of the tutorial? What? I don't know. So either we all become lazy or you guys show a lot of efforts as well. So I think everything is set now. So we can use our filter per department. We can use the filter, the timeline, and select by year and whatever. I think everything is okay. We can click here to move from one aspect of the dashboard to another. And if we click here, we reach to our good practice. So maybe the last thing we can do here is to copy these cards and insert them in all our charts. Maybe it will make it more beautiful. So let's just copy and paste. So let's right click on our chart and we bring it to front so that it can be in front and the shape behind. So so you will tell me whether you prefer the one with the cat or you prefer the one without the cat. The cat like the shape that is behind. Yeah. I put this part at the end because I'm sure some people might like the dashboard without that cat. Some people might like it with the cat. So if you don't like the putting the shape behind, it's up to you not to put, but the dashboard is completed already. If you want, you can add this shape at the background of at the back of your of our chart. So I hope you have enjoyed. Please subscribe to the channel to also encourage me, and see you in the next video.